Welcome to Paired Adventures. This podcast is intended for listeners 18 and older. It contains discussions about the consensual adult swinger lifestyle and may include mature themes and language. Listener discretion is advised.
All opinions shared are personal and for entertainment and discussion purposes only. This podcast does not provide professional, medical, legal, or relationship advice.
All activities discussed involve consenting adults. We do not support coercion, exploitation, or illegal behavior. By listening, you confirm that you are of legal age and choose to engage with this content. Hey there, sexy listeners, and welcome back to Paired Adventures. This is Veronica.
And Philip.
Okay, so today we are going to do something a little different. So, usually we pick a topic and we discuss that topic, but I feel like for the last several episodes, we've talked to you guys and drilled it into your brains about communication. So, today I thought we have a couple of things that have been on my mind and that I want to speak with Philip about. So, I thought, why not have a raw conversation to show you how communication in the lifestyle actually works and sounds.
All right, let's see what it's about.
Okay, so Philip, I want to talk to you today about your thoughts on more of a poly versus swing lifestyle.
Okay. So poly is more about like feelings and connections, which the lifestyle has as well, but kind of more like a dating scenario.
Yeah, more like a relationship.
Yeah, like a relationship.
Like moving past like a friendship.
Right, exactly. I'm not 100% against that. It's just one of those things that have to be done carefully.
I think so too. I think like first and foremost, like protecting the marriage
Right, exactly. Yeah,
and the established like relationship
right.
and like prioritizing like each other.
Mhm. Yeah. I would say exactly what you just said, and, it kinda brings me back to the show that we watched a while back, wherever that was.
I think it was on Paramount. Yeah. The dating while married,
Yeah, something like that. It was about, I can't even say the word,
polyamorous.
polyamorous. There you go.
Yeah, so that show followed like a few couples that were
Mhm.
in the poly lifestyle and kind of gave you like an inside view of what poly looks like from the inside.
Yeah.
And so it kind of got my wheels turning a little bit. And
Right.
so I kind of wanted to talk to you about because we are obviously like strictly swingers.
Mm.
And so I just wanted to kind of like open the conversation on that and see kind of what are your thoughts on it? Like what would be what you're fearful about when it comes to that? Um, and if you were open to exploring that, like what would that look like in your opinion?
Okay. I'd say my first feeling about it is that I'm definitely not against the idea. It's just, again, you have to protect like what we have.
Right.
So there's got to be designated, I guess, times because, like, say, for me, I travel a lot.
Right.
So that could open up a perfect potential possibility of like you having a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and spending time with them
Mhm.
because I'm out of town. So
Right,
I'm
and
not
I'm alone.
right. I'm not there watching. And then same for me. Like if I were to meet someone out of town, I could explore those connections. But then when we're home together, like how does that look?
Right.
And that's kind of where I struggle a little bit because I guess it's always been just us at home.
Mhm.
So I think that would be the hardest thing is like, okay, well, 'cause I'm perfectly fine. Like if you go out and you go over to someone's house and you hang out for 4 or 5 hours,
Mhm.
but like I don't quite think like if I'm home overnights wouldn't be able to happen right away.
Right, because 'cause you'd want me home in bed with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, I would agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I would want you to be spending the night with another girl and, like, me just laying here in bed, like
Right. Right.
Like, what like,
Yeah.
where are you at?
No, I mean, I think that, again, it would work out pretty well for those weeks of the month that I'm not around.
Right,
But then you've got to be able to, like, say, "Okay, well, now my husband's back, so I'll text you, we can talk, but it's not gonna consume my entire day."
right.
I think that would be, like,
Because
the
that would be taking
biggest
away
thing.
from you too.
Well, right, exactly, and
I
it'd be
mean
the same for me, like, if I were to meet someone and I came back home to you, like, I feel like I would have that respect to, like, say, "Hey, look, I'm with my primary,
mhm,
and, primary is gonna get the most
the
attention."
primary attention.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
So, I mean, yeah, I'm not totally against it. I think there's gotta be a little bit of ground rules, just like there is with swinging. There's gotta be boundaries. But that would be my yes, I wouldn't really say fear. It's just more my concern at this moment is that how do we structure that where it actually works?
right. I think for me, I think I have more of the insecurity with you,
Right.
um, like, going out and, like, potentially having, like, a connection
Mhm.
with somebody else, and I know that that stems from, like, my past, and so, like, for me, I feel like it would be easier for you if we did it opposed to me. Like, I feel like it would be easier for you to share me
I mean, maybe.
because you tend to be a little bit more, like, secure
Right.
as far as, like, insecurities and things like that, whereas I struggle more.
Mhm.
So I think, like, for me, like, we've talked about, like, the idea of, like, having a girlfriend,
Yeah.
but then, like, there's also, like, the whole, like, we don't share our marital bed.
Right.
So, like, how does that work? And then, obviously, we have kids.
Right.
So, I mean, what does that look like? Like, if we were to get, like, a full-time girlfriend, like, how does that work? Like, how do you explain that, dynamic?
Mm.
I mean, that would be hard.
I think it would be hard. One is it wouldn't be hard for older children, but younger children, like, they don't understand. Like,
Right.
depending on the age, like, our daughter's fairly young, so she would not quite comprehend, like, because I don't think she understands what sex is and, like, what
Well, right. I'm
connections
talking
are and stuff
about
like that.
yeah, I mean, obviously, like, we're not gonna expose our kid to that.
Right.
But, I mean, if we had a girlfriend and it was someone that we were like, "Oh, well, this is our friend,"
Mhm.
because, I mean, that's what we would
Well,
refer to them
right, right.
as with kids around. But, like, if you are getting ready to leave or something and you kiss our girlfriend,
Right.
like,
That'd be a little weird.
yeah, our kid's gonna be super confused.
Yeah.
So it's like, it that complicates that
It does. Yeah, for
as,
sure.
like, more of, like, a in-home kind of scenario.
And I think that, that would you would have to build up to something like that anyways, because you wouldn't just meet a girlfriend and then she's immediately living with you, sleeping in your bed every night. I mean, I would picture it just be like a normal dating situation where each person has their own space.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, food for thought.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So,
The
like,
whole marital bed thing, like, to me,
I mean, we've never actually brought anyone home.
mm-mm.
Like,
No.
that's the thing, like, we've had friends, like, in the
Yeah.
lifestyle, like, come over and hang out,
I feel like
like, in a vanilla sense, but, like, we've never actually, like,
right.
had anyone, like, in our bed.
No, and I think that it's kinda more for me, it's kinda almost like it's sexist in my thought process here, because and you tell me, like, how fucked up I am, but, like, if it was a couple and we fucked in our bed, we're gonna change the sheets, I think it's fine.
Okay.
If it was another female and we're both sleeping with her, I feel like that's fine, but because I'm not bisexual, if it was another male that joined us in our bed, just I don't know, I feel, like, kinda disconnected about that. I'm perfectly fine sharing you with another male, like, in a hotel room,
Mhm.
but because I'm not participating with that other person, that's where it kinda feels like,
Do you think that that sounds more territorial?
maybe,
Not
maybe,
really
yeah,
sexist, it
yeah,
sounds territorial, it sounds like almost like there has to be, like, another level of the reclaiming, like, you want the sheets clean, like, almost like you want to be rid of
Right.
them completely after the fact.
I mean, I have OCD. Let me just go ahead and tell you, like
You really do have OCD.
like, my bed is, like, literally it has to be made. It has to be tucked in. It has to have a fitted sheet, a sheet, comforter. Like, the pillows have to be put just right. Just even talking about, like, people destroying my bed right now is kinda giving me a little bit of fucked up anxiety. And then I'm thinking about a little bit of squirt or some fucking cum, and you're like, "Oh, that's my bed." I don't know. Again, I feel like if we had say we had some friends over that were, kind of into the sharing,
Mhm.
and they were here at our house, our kids are gone, we're having a few adult beverages, we're playing some games, and it gets hot and heavy, and we go to our room, I'm okay with a couple, and I feel like if we had a female, I'd be okay with that. Maybe it is territorial.
I mean, to me, it sounds territorial. It
Yeah,
sounds almost like we
maybe.
just have to get
Yeah,
rid of everything, have a clean slate, like,
yeah.
that happened,
I
but,
feel like
like
that's gonna happen regardless, whether it was a man, a woman, or a couple, like, I might have to have some sheets on standby because, like, that's my bed.
So, okay, so let's just entertain the idea. So, if we were to open the whole poly thing, are you leaning more towards just girlfriends, or are you open to men?
No,
Well, I mean, obviously, you're not open to men,
yeah,
but, like,
you're
would
right.
you be open to boyfriends?
No, I'm open to either or. It's whoever you build a connection with, I feel like. I mean, obviously, it's extremely hard to find a girl, a woman that's bisexual that wants to be part of a couple. It's a hard thing to find. I think one-on-one connections are a lot easier to find.
Mhm.
But it's also like I enjoy the detail, but also you gotta be conscious of your primary partner, I think is the big thing.
I think so too.
So again, like, if we're home together and you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, it's gonna be new, it's gonna be exciting,
Mhm.
but you can't consume your entire day with texting and flirting and all that. Like there's a time and there's a place.
Right.
I think that really, that's, like, the big thing. But I'm not against either. I mean, you always try it out. If it's not working, we talk about it. If something's not working correctly, then we try to adjust.
Think for me, like, the poly thing, the part of that that interests me is the girlfriend aspect.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, there are times where there's other guys that I'm interested in, but more of, like, a friendship kinda thing, not necessarily, like, building,
yeah.
like, a relationship,
I feel like you say that because you think I've got a guy on my mind.
perhaps.
Yeah. And I don't feel like you're being 100% honest in that either. We're all talk right now. So, let's weigh out the girlfriend thing. Like,
Okay.
obviously, that would be fun. But
Mhm.
then at some point, say this lasted 2, 3, 4 years.
Right.
Me, myself, 2 or 3 years with someone, I will probably be in love with that person. Maybe not to the level that I'm in love with you,
Mhm.
but there will be some love.
Right.
And I feel like for you the same way, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So, how do you, like, either move that to a future or how do you disconnect from that? And I think that's, like, the biggest
I don't know, because I feel
turn
like
off,
I
I
I
guess.
don't know, because I feel like when you made that statement, it gave me, like, that, like, feeling.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Because there's
because
no
like,
way.
how do I come to terms with the fact that you have those feelings
Right.
with somebody else?
That's kinda why I brought it up,
Yeah.
because, like, how do you get to a point, 1, where you're comfortable with that, and then 2, like, you're talking a few years in, that's typically, like, when a normal couple would be talking about, like, engagement. Obviously, you're not gonna marry this 3rd person,
Right.
but you're, like, talking about, like, building a life with them,
Mhm.
and how do you have someone that may want that,
Mhm. But,
like,
like,
full time? Like, I don't.
I also feel like
Is it something that only typically lasts, like, a couple years and then they move on to another relationship or, like
Well, I don't know because, like, I think at some point they might want to. I mean,
Right, exactly.
how do you be in a relationship for that many years knowing that
There's nothing.
there's nothing that's gonna come of
Right.
it, like, other than where you're at? Like, you're never gonna be
Mhm.
more,
Exactly. And that's
and I mean, like, we're not ever having any more children. Right, so, like, you're never gonna give them a child,
right.
like so, I feel like that's hard for that person in that position unless
Mhm.
they're 100% okay with
Right.
in a sense, like and it sounds fucked up to say, but, like, to always be second place. Yeah, because, like, no
I
matter
just don't know
what.
how it looks long term. I think that's the biggest struggle
Right.
because I analyze data,
Yeah.
and you're very analytical as well.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I just don't know how that looks like long term. I think if it's an occasional thing and, like, maybe this female is seeing other people,
Mhm.
but we're, like, the only couple she sees and doing something like that, maybe that would work. But, like, just a full-time, especially if it's, like, a live-in, like, where do you go from that?
Yeah. I mean, you really can't go
Right.
you could do, like, some type of, like, a commitment to that person, but,
Yeah, but, like, do we even want to commit to someone?
I don't
I mean, that's what
I don't know. And then, like, going back to, like, your statement about, like, being in love after a few years, like, my initial reaction is, like, that gut feeling of, like, ugh. But then, like, if I sit back for a second and I, like, think about it, like, if in 2 or 3 years, like, I'm in love with this person, is it really fair of me, just based off of, like, my insecurities and feeling the ways that I might feel, like, is it fair for me to be like, "Well, I'm allowed to love this person, but you can absolutely not."
I think that's the
Like,
difference
acknowledge your
between
feelings.
right, that's the difference between what we currently do in our non-monogamous lifestyle and poly,
Yeah,
is that I don't think that anyone can spend that much time with someone, and if we're really talking years, like, there's no way that you could just have no emotional connection.
right,
It's not possible. You're gonna build some level of, air quote, "love." Now, it could be a completely different level.
right. But do you not think that you could potentially, like, have somebody, like, on the side that you have a really cool, like, connection with as far as, like, friendship,
Mhm.
and but it's not love, it's just, like, you just enjoy, like, hanging out with that person, like, as a friend,
Yeah.
but, like, you also fuck them.
Yeah, I think that's possible, but that's a different dynamic. That's on the side, not live in.
Right,
Again, they might have other relationships. You've got another relationship. It's different. That's like an occasional, not a full time.
right.
So I mean, it's a little different.
So, do you think that that would be a more sustainable route opposed to actually being 100% poly?
Yeah,
Or, like,
yeah,
just
yeah,
being, like, more open?
yeah, yeah. I just don't know how poly work long term. So I mean, just being a little bit more open and like having the ability to have a solo play partner on occasion. Yeah, I'm open to that. I don't feel like I'm open 100% to like 100% poly just because like there's so many unanswered questions. Like, how does this look?
Well, and I think, like, in our future, like, if we wanted to explore more of, like, a poly dynamic when kids are older,
Right.
like, I feel like maybe that would work
Yeah.
better, but I feel like even, like, when we were watching the show that we were watching, which kind of brought, like, all this to the surface, like,
Hmm.
just wondering, especially because with my bisexuality, especially, like, for the female portion
Right. Right.
of this, like, that's always kinda been, like, the thought, like, it'd be great, like, if I could have, like, a full-time
Hmm.
girlfriend that we occasionally share,
Hmm.
but mainly for me,
Right.
to have that companionship.
Hmm.
Um, how do you incorporate that into our life as it stands now? It just doesn't seem feasible.
Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah. I agree. I just don't think, maybe 15 years from now we'll be empty nesters.
Yeah.
Um, and at that point, depending on where we live, what size house we have, so on, it could be a potential like, hey, we've got all this extra space. It's just the two of us.
Mhm.
We don't have, people walking around our house all day. At that point, maybe something more permanent could be a potential.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's just like, where do you go? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. And how do you explain it?
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, how do you make it fit? And I think, like, right now, that particular situation doesn't fit
Mm-mm.
just
No,
because it would be so complicated.
no. Like if you were talking about, if you were talking about just like building more of a connection with your male friend,
I don't even
and
okay, so wait, let me go back because I know exactly who's on your mind
Mhm.
because it has been something that's brought up in the past. Um, so it's not necessarily because we are having a raw conversation, so
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
just have the
yeah. This is
conversation.
unscripted, by the way.
Yeah, let's just have the conversation as if we're just talking,
Yeah.
which we have been, but let's just be real, unfiltered. So if it's not about wanting to build on a relationship, it's that this person I get along with, I
Mhm.
have fun with this person, and there is a potential that sexually it could be a good connection.
Right.
And I don't always, like, have the connection, I guess, like, to other men,
Mhm.
like, in the lifestyle.
Right. Exactly.
And so, this is someone that I enjoy spending time with,
Mhm.
but just strictly as a friend.
Yeah.
And this person is not single,
Right.
so
Right.
there is no chance of, like, a relationship,
Right.
and, like, I don't want to develop feelings for this person.
Mhm.
It's just somebody that I enjoy spending time with and, like, going and doing things with and hanging out, and for me personally, I think that it would be fun to open that connection, to have the ability where if you're out of town
Yeah.
and I'm by myself,
Right.
like, to be able to have the ability to go out and have a good time, and if it was sexual, it's sexual,
Mm.
but, like, I don't want to necessarily, like, have this friendship where there's, like, this, like, pool
Right.
and, like, feel bad. Or, like, if, like, for example, the other night I went and hung out and you didn't wanna go.
Yeah.
I invited you,
Right.
but you didn't wanna go, and then granted, it wasn't, like, a sexual situation. Like, there were other people
Yeah.
and things like that, but, like, I just don't want to feel like I'm going to hang out with this person and you're at home thinking, "Well, I know she's attracted to this person,
Mhm.
and now she's going to hang out with him." And I feel like, well, he knows I'm attracted to this person, and what is he thinking
Right.
about me going to hang out with him?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm fine with that. So, like, if you guys were to connect, it's just not something that I want to be a part of. And honestly, the reason for that is because I've known this person outside of the lifestyle
Right.
and we've had business dealings together. We know each other on more of a professional level. Like,
Mhm.
I don't want to be a part of that moment.
Right.
But, like, if again, it's how you it's how you handle
Mhm.
the situation. So, like, if I'm out of town, which I will be a lot in the next few weeks, and, so will you. But let's just say you were home during this period
Mhm.
and you wanted to explore that sexual side of this connection. I'm perfectly fine with you doing that. You
Mhm.
know the rules. Be
Right.
safe, wear protection.
Mhm.
Like, I'm gonna go ahead and tell everyone that's listening and you, because I've said it 100 times, I'm not raising no other kids. Like,
Right.
I am done with kids.
Yeah, and I don't want any more.
Right. So, as long as you're following the rules and the boundaries, and if there was some, you know, potential mishap that were to take place, like a broken condom, and you took care of that to where there is no potential,
Right.
and we're not talking about abortion here because I'm 100% against
No,
that.
but, like, plan
But
B.
plan B, something that's preventative, like, I'm fine with that.
Mhm.
So, I'm good with that. What I'm not good with is if, like, I'm home and then every day that I'm home, you want to go out over there. Like, you go now as a friend and you hang out, and I'm fine with that because most of the time I don't wanna go.
Right.
But, like, if it's guess if it just becomes too much,
Mhm.
like, you gotta know how to draw the line and the boundary. And then on top of that, I think about his spouse,
Right.
and I don't think no matter what is said, I've never heard it from her, I've never heard her talk anything about anything non-monogamous before. So
Mhm.
I do not feel like she's really okay with that,
Well,
whether
I
he
think
says she is or not.
right, I think that if it was to get to that,
Mhm.
if we agree on it, I think that that would be a conversation that I would personally have to sit down and have the conversation with her
Yeah, I feel like that's
beforehand.
the only respectful thing to do, and
And
that's
I would want to. I would wanna make
right.
sure.
And that's where I've always kinda been on the fence about that whole situation is because, like, he will talk about things
Right.
lifestyle related
Mhm.
and things that he does, but I've been around her many times, and
Mhm.
she's never even once made the indication that, like, she would be okay with any of that.
Yeah. So, and I agree with that. Like, I've hung out with her, we haven't talked about it,
Right.
but, I would definitely want to sit down
Yeah.
with her, probably even privately, just between her and
No, I
I,
think it would have to be. Right.
and just have, like, a real, like, heart to heart, like,
Mhm.
girl to girl, like,
Right.
how do you honestly feel about it? Like,
Exactly.
I understand, like, if she doesn't want any details and
Y
things like that, but
100%. Respect whatever the
right,
boundaries are.
but, like,
Right.
if she is perfectly okay with him partaking in sexual things with other females,
Mhm. And she might have her own set of rules as well.
right, and what her rules are, and have that heart to heart
Right.
conversation because obviously, like, I don't wanna come in and ruin what they have.
Right, exactly.
Like, that's not my intention. My intention is more, like, exploring the
Mhm.
sexual side to whatever that pull or draw is.
Right. Yeah. No, I just think that it's different because this person's not single. They are in a long, I mean, it's been a long time, a long committed relationship. And I feel like it's kind of disrespectful to her
Yeah.
without having,
Without having the
right.
conversation.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I think my biggest fear is there is a friendship there
Right.
between him and I, and there's a relationship between you and I.
Right.
And my biggest fear is losing your trust and like making you feel some sort of way. Like
I feel
I don't
like,
want that. Like I
no, I mean, I feel like for us, if we're talking about it and we're communicating, then we're going to be good. If you're not being deceitful or
right.
anything like that. And
And I
same
and I
and
haven't been.
right, exactly, and same for me. Like, I would expect you to expect the same from me, right?
Right.
As long as there's communication about what it is, and then, our household duties are fulfilled, and not talking sex, I'm talking like our children, whatever, like
Mhm.
household things. But if truly I'm out of town and you were exploring this connection, whether you call it a connection or not, a sexual connection,
Right.
more than a friendship, then I feel like I'm perfectly fine with that. And I might ask you a couple details, I might not. But again, like if I'm home and you're sitting there on your phone the entire time,
Mhm.
that's where I'll have a problem.
Yeah, no, and I understand that. And I think that we had a little bit of a problem with that at one point,
Right.
just because the friendship was new and it
Yeah,
was,
exactly.
it was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
And, and I was a little bit on my phone and you were feeling a little excluded. Um, but we addressed that.
No, I don't like things sprung upon me either. So that's where we had the same issue with this individual is that
Well,
you tried to test the waters
I did try a little.
after I was abundantly clear that I'm not playing with this individual.
Yeah. I did a little bit in that,
Mm,
but like if we go back to that, like my original intentions were not to do that. But throughout the night,
well, I mean, we had some
we had
drinks.
some drinks
Everyone was
and
having a good time.
we were
Like, I
all
get it.
having a
You're
good
right.
time,
Yeah.
and, like, the idea of, well, maybe it would sit better
Yeah.
with you if it happened and you were
Right.
involved, like, there was kinda like that
Yeah,
that
and I mean, and I
thought process,
no, and I can understand that because our experience with other males
like
has
single, like,
yeah, single males, we've done it together, but there's a difference because that other person I did not know.
right.
Whereas this person, from the very first time that they started coming around and talking about like interest in the lifestyle or then interest in us going to events together and doing things, whatever, I've been very clear. Like, I have zero interest in participating with this individual because of that. I mean, I've known him for 5, 6 years.
Mhm.
So it's on a whole different level. Like, we meet Joe out on the street,
Right, it's different.
it's different. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have a great time. I'm there. We do it together. But, with, I don't know, I just think with friendships in general, like, that's a huge gray area for me.
Mhm.
Like, I don't really like partaking. And I flirt with our friends.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we both do.
yeah, exactly. Um, but would it ever come to a point of like, "Hey, like, I'm serious, I wanna take this somewhere?" Probably not. But that's just because I don't want to, like, 1, ruin that friendship,
Right.
and 2, like, I just don't feel like it's something I need to do.
Mhm. Like I said, for me, I think it's just the fact that it's not generally for me, there's not generally, like, this interest,
Yeah.
and I think it would be nice to have the ability to explore that,
Right, right.
because, like I said, there's not normally a draw for me to be with other men.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's more of a female-driven
Mm.
end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I mean,
But, I
I could
mean,
see
with
it.
this particular person, there is, like, that draw.
Right.
There's an attraction, and I think, like, chemistry-wise, it would be
Yeah. I mean, I could see that you guys would probably have a good time,
mhm,
and I would love that because that's all I ever want is, like, you to have fun and enjoy yourself. So, I mean, I would be fine with that. But again, it's where do you draw those lines? And
right.
can you do that?
I mean, I
And
feel
then can his significant other be okay with it? Because what happens, like, if she has no clue you're feeling this type of way or he's feeling this type of way,
mhm,
regardless of what he said, they've
right,
talked about, and you have a one on one conversation with her, one, she's blindsided and has no idea where this is coming from. And then two, she's not okay with it.
mhm,
Like, how does that affect everything?
right. Yeah,
Because
I
I
mean
feel like if she flat out said, like, "No, I'm not good with this at all,"
mhm,
then that shuts down the permission.
right. No, absolutely. I mean, and I agree with that, and I feel like for me, I feel like it is possible for me to open the door, like, in a sexual sense
Mm,
without, like, building
yeah,
outside of a
right.
friendship.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like it would just be like a,
it would
"Okay,"
yeah,
like
kinda
right, like, we
right,
have a good time
yeah.
together, like,
Because I mean,
nothing's gonna
the
change,
flirting's
like
already there.
right,
Right,
like and I mean
exactly.
and it's
Yeah,
innocent flirting, like,
yeah,
it doesn't ever go past anything.
right.
Um, but it's just like a I mean, I'm generally like that with our other friends too. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's a flirt here, like some sexual innuendo
Right,
here, like
right.
it's just a friendly banter with like a sexual premise, but
Yeah.
it doesn't like mean anything, right? But like I don't think that opening the door that way is going to be like, "Oh my god, like I've had sex with this guy for 2 months now, like I'm in love with him." I don't I don't see that
No,
happening.
I mean, I don't see that happening either. I think you've learned that emotion and sex can be disconnected. I mean, I think that you just have a good time.
Yeah,
But again, like, it's kind of all the other things that go into a friendship in general is the constant communication and, you don't need to be saying, "Oh, good morning," every single day to this
right.
person. Like, you go, you have fun, you do your thing,
Mhm.
and then, that's it.
Right.
That's where you start building on more
Mhm.
of that, like, like,
Right.
an actual relationship is and it all starts, like, in the small talk, honestly.
Yeah.
So
No, and I feel like that's where our level of friendship is.
mm,
Like, it's we hit each other up every now and then.
right.
We hang out, but we also have children the same age, so our children do well together.
Yeah, yeah,
And so, I mean, it's like a it's not like a relationship where we're talking every single day.
Right.
It's like a, "Hey, like, whatever, like, messaged me this morning because I hung out with him last night."
Right.
So, he messaged this morning and was like, "Hey, like, thanks so much for coming over yesterday, had a great time."
Mhm.
And that was the conversation,
Right.
you know?
Yeah,
And
no,
so
I
it's
think it's
not
just
like
drawing
a
lines. That's it. Like, you gotta be able to disconnect when it's time to disconnect and connect when it's time to connect.
so I guess my apprehension would be that you're saying this right now, but then if it actually happens that you might feel a certain way.
I mean, we wouldn't know that until it happened, right?
Right.
But, I mean, that's not gonna do anything between you and I. Like, we'll
Right.
talk about it.
Yeah. I think I just like I feel apprehensive in a sense like I don't want to do it and then like you be mad.
I don't feel like I would be mad as long as, like, we've talked about it and, it's already agreed upon. But again, like, if and I know it's not gonna happen, but say it was tonight.
Right. Yeah, that's not going to happen, but
Right, exactly. Let's just
yeah.
play this out. Like, you're like, "Okay, we've talked about it. I've got permission. I'm gonna go hang out tonight." But you do something and then his wife's not okay with it. Like,
Right.
I don't feel like it's okay because of the situation they're in to do anything until, like, she can consent to that. Whether she wants to be a part of it or have no knowledge at all, as long as she says, "Oh, yeah, yeah. Like, whatever you guys do, out wherever is
Right.
fine, but don't do it inside my house."
Right.
Or, don't act that way around the children. I mean,
Right.
there's gonna be rules,
Yeah.
right?
Or like don't leave any marks or something that
Exactly.
I can find later.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
And I mean,
I
and
think
obviously, like,
that's
I'm
the
gonna
big
have
thing.
rules too. Like, I'm not gonna want to come home with a hickey
Oh, no.
to, like, put
Right.
it in your face,
Right, exactly.
right?
No.
Or, like, I'm gonna wanna make sure because he probably has other partners, so I would want to make sure he's tested.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
I mean, it's about protecting
all of
everyone.
those things,
Right,
like
and the same for you. You have multiple partners too, so you need to be tested before, and, that's just how you gotta be respectful of
yeah.
everybody.
I think the apprehension comes from the fact that we haven't done this before. Because
Right.
we usually play together and, like, the separate play has not really been something that's on the table. I mean, I guess it's
Mm,
kinda been
I
there,
mean, we
but,
played
like
separate, but I think you struggled more with that than I
and, like, even when we did play separate, like, I didn't actually, like,
did.
fully play.
Situation you were in.
Well, yeah,
I mean, thinking about that, like, you would have played with that guy.
maybe.
I'm pretty sure you would have if throw someone's business out there, but, like, if he was
Well, yeah, and if we hadn't had all the
and
things.
yeah, the 4-hour run around and
Yeah.
everything else. Right, exactly. I think that because you were attracted to him.
Yeah,
Now, the more time you spent with him, maybe that attraction went down a little bit.
yeah.
Um, but, like, at first, it was kinda hot and heavy.
Mhm.
So, I feel like you probably would've if you guys weren't running through multiple states
Yeah, and
and the other.
yeah, shady movie theater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's a conversation that I've wanted to have for a little bit, but,
Mm.
like, I've been a little apprehensive about, like, bringing it to you.
Right.
Only because it's like, I feel like it's a hard I feel like a part of me feels like it's a hard ask.
I mean, I feel like everything that we do and have done kind of builds up to a moment to be able to talk about something. So I don't feel like it's a hard ask. Again, I just have like my line.
Mhm.
And, if I were to see someone outside of you, you would have your line. And I think as long as those are and all of our boundaries have always been respected and honored. So like I have no concern with that.
Is it unfair if it's okay for you to allow me to be open with another guy, but I'm not quite there with me allowing you to be open?
I don't think things have to be fair.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't you already know how I am. Like, I love to fuck, but I really don't want like that friendship. I don't want that connection.
Mhm.
And how would just picturing this because like in order to build that, a lot of people don't just jump in bed with you. So you'd have to kind of almost date
Mhm.
on my side, right?
Right.
I don't think it's unfair. I just think that if it were something that I wanted to pursue,
I mean, obviously, we
then
would talk about it.
yeah, I would just let you know that that's something that I wanted to do. I just don't see where it would ever happen outside of a lifestyle event because, like, that takes me having to put in the effort, one, of finding someone, then kinda courting them,
Mhm.
and then having sex, which is really the only part of it I want anyway. Like, I don't want the whole dating and all the other
Well,
shit.
you're not a friendship person anyway.
Right, exactly. So,
I mean, you have very far and few between
no,
people that
no.
you call a friend.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think it's just something that if it were to come up, we'd just talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I don't think anyone should draw lines in the sand and say, "No," like, absolutely not.
you I can't do it, so you can't do it kinda thing.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that's unfair because each person should be I don't know, like, we have to respect our relationship.
Mhm.
But beyond that, if we're being respectful and we're following our rules is what it is, in my opinion.
Yeah. I feel like for me,
I
my contention with you going out and doing what I'm asking causes fear.
Right. But again, like, I just don't see how that would realistically work with me. Now, would it be, "Hey, babe, you happen to be out of town and it's Friday night. Can I
And
go
right.
to an event?"
Yeah, and I've been okay
And
with that.
right, exactly. And we all know what events are. There's no, like,
It's just sexual.
it's just sexual. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say there's no connection, but there's always a connection because you gotta have some type of connection to get in bed with this
Right,
person.
there's an
But there's
attraction, there's an
right,
appeal,
right.
but it doesn't go
But it ends
it
immediately.
right, it ends
Right.
that night.
That would honestly probably be the only thing I would be interested in, because I really have 0 interest in going out and getting on and I'd probably have to use, like, I don't know, whatever the hell the dating apps are to even find someone. And then again, you gotta kinda, like, in a sense, date.
Mhm.
Because there are people out there that will just fuck you on the first night, but that's very few and far between, honestly.
Yeah, and in a way, like, do you really
Yeah,
wanna fuck that
exactly.
person?
No. So, like, I don't think that's something that I want. Now, if again, we go back to the whole girlfriend situation, if we found someone and then it was someone that we both wanted to be with, then we can figure that out. But honestly, like, I just don't feel like it's something that I want or need.
Mhm,
Now, again, like, you're leaving the state for a month.
mhm.
If I wanna go on a Friday night, I'm gonna call you and say, "Hey, babe, like, I got nothing going on. Can I go to this event Friday night?"
Right.
And then we can talk about it. If you're like, "Nah, I really don't feel comfortable about that," we'll have a conversation. Or you might say, "Yeah, yeah, fine,"
Mhm.
because you know what the events are. But
Right.
I'm not trying to go and just meet up with someone outside of the lifestyle. I think that's where and even, like, talking about all of this, if you were to meet a monogamous minded person just out and then you wanted to explore that, I would probably have a little more hesitation than what you're currently asking for right now
Right.
because one, they're somewhat in a lifestyle. They kind of understand rules, boundaries, communication, everything else, and they're in a committed relationship. So it's kind of a little different than like just finding a single person out and
That's
about
not
in the wilderness.
right, that's not in the
Right.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like I agree with that because if you do it that way, there is a potential that this person is going to develop
Oh,
deeper
100%. Right.
feelings.
Because they don't understand. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, I would say like right now, I'm perfectly fine with you talking with the other spouse
Mhm.
and seeing if that's even something that's allowed on the table.
Right.
But if it's not, you have to respect that.
Well, and I would,
Right.
absolutely. Like, I'm not going to pursue anything that one party is not okay with.
Right. Exactly.
Because I have a friendship with her as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I respect her. So, I mean, I don't want to infringe on that friendship. I mean, I think that she's a great person and, like, I value her friendship.
Mm,
So, I don't wanna, like, hurt
right.
that
Right.
friendship, and I
No,
also
and
don't
I
wanna
don't want
hurt
to
the
hurt
friendship
her.
I have with him either.
Right. No. No, I just want to make sure that she's protected in this as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, no, I think this was a good conversation, and at the end of the day I want you to know that this doesn't change the way that I feel about you.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And I love you and you are my person.
Mm,
And just acknowledging the fact that there is a draw
right.
and I do want to explore it. I just want to do it respectfully to
Yeah,
you and to the other party.
right, exactly. I mean, like I said, that's the big thing for me is, like, we gotta have our clear lines drawn,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
she has to, in a sense, give consent.
and let's be realistic. Like there could be a draw and then it can happen and I could be like, "Oh, that was not what I want."
I mean, yeah, I mean,
And, and then we just bounce right back to
right,
what
exactly.
it's always been.
Yeah,
And it's just something that happened one time and it was, not so great and we move
yeah.
forward.
No, anything's possible.
Okay. Well, so this was completely unscripted,
Unscripted,
raw.
raw. Um, but it shows, the great thing about a conversation like this is it shows how a conversation can go in a respectful manner where you can talk about something that's been on your mind
Mhm.
and then have the partner that's willing to hear you out and then talk about those things
Yeah, and talk through it
and talk through it
without anger, without
without anger, jealousy, resentment, any of the emotions really.
yeah, and expressing true
Mm.
fears
Right. Yep.
and apprehensions and just being completely transparent.
Yeah.
And like I said, this was not an easy topic, um, but it was a topic that needed to be had, and basically it provides us with a foundation of where we are
Yeah.
on both sides of the matter and what steps we can take to move forward.
Right, exactly. And, it's not just a one and done conversation either. It's the same way if you're entering the lifestyle or any kind of non monogamous um, situation. It's just this was the groundwork, and then we'll continue
Oh, yeah,
to
and I
talk.
mean and it may be, "Okay, well, we're agreeing to this right now," but in a few days, it might be, "Okay, let's go back to this conversation, and maybe I don't want you to jump straight into full-blown sex. Maybe we take
No, no.
have the
If you're gonna
conversation."
do it, you're gonna do it. Like, fuck that. Like, we're not doing no soft swab, no none
No,
of
but
that
I'm just saying,
bullshit.
like, it could potentially for other
No.
people, like,
Oh, yeah, 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 for sure.
it could be a comeback and, okay, maybe you just start baby steps.
Right.
Maybe, you can do oral and see
Yeah,
how I feel about that. Or,
right.
you know, it could be like we have to have multiple conversations before we're 100% affirmed that this is the route that we're taking.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like right now we're 90% there. If you get consent from the other party and then you guys want to explore that, then I'm 100%. But,
Okay.
without her consent, then I go down to 0%, okay.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, even if the other party's like, well, no, that's, I want to. But at the end of the day,
Mm,
if her consent is no, like if I don't have consent from her, then it doesn't matter. Like that, it washes the floor.
right, exactly. Alright. So until next time, stay curious
Stay connected.
and stay paired.
Bye, guys.
Bye.